Hello everyone, I'm Wiwi, a 5th semester student in English Literature at Universitas Hasanuddin. In this video, I'm going to be yapping about why I choose English Literature, why I chose this major. So, let's go! Actually, the simple reason is that though I wasn't really fluent in speaking English, but since junior high school, I always loved English subject. I don't know why, but I always feel that it's fun. So even when my grammar is still messy and my pronunciation was far from perfect until now actually, but actually it made me think that if I love something, why don't I just dive deeper into it? Then when I applied through SNBP, Alhamdulillah I was accepted and here I am. So at the time, I truly feel like a path was open for me, although honestly I never expected to actually get into English literature through SNBP. Then when I started to accept that I'm in English major, I actually always feel pretty down and considered to switching majors. There were always those times of overthinking, feeling like I wasn't good enough, not fluent enough, or being afraid I wouldn't be able to keep up in this major. But at the same time, I also realized that I couldn't actually switch major because those who accepted on SNBP weren't allowed to join SNBT, so it automatically felt like, well, I think I have no choice but to stay in English literature. So even though honestly I could just try the Mandiri track, but yeah, I was already hopeless and I feel like I probably won't pass anyway before I even trying. So it classic me. But after I think about it again, after deciding to stay, I slowly started to accepting that maybe this is actually where I belong. Maybe this wasn't just accidentally getting accepted, but my true path that I was too scared to look at. So I started to remembering the reason why I left English since middle high school, since junior high school. I like learning about stories, language, culture, and even small things like funny idioms. And it turns out, in English literature, I can find things that are much deeper than that. So after deciding to stay and trying to enjoy everything, surprisingly, I really started to enjoy though. At first, it felt hard, but over time, it actually became fun, especially when we got to the stage of choosing a concentration. By the way, for your information, English literature at Universitas Hasanuddin has 3 concentration. First is literature, second one is linguistics, and the last one is teaching. So, of course, I chose literature concentration, and honestly even now I never regret it because it turned out to be super fun. In English literature there are so many great courses and I feel like they actually make me think, oh, I think I really fit in here. And one of my favorite courses is theater. In the theater course, we learn how to work a drama into a real performance, starting from understanding the script, casting roles, blocking, dialogue practice, expression, gesture, until final performing in front of many people. For your information, my class theater performance last time was based on William Shakespeare's drama called Midsummer Night's Dream. And I played as a fairy. And theater is just one of the example. There are many other courses that make me feel more comfortable and more confident that the decision to stay in English literature was right one. Then in this semester, I also found a course that was generally very enjoyable, which is children's literature. And this course has a kind of big project. And the project is super fun because we directly interact with the little kids from, I will put it here. So it's not just theory, so we actually go hands-on teaching them English in many methods. So besides those 2 courses that involve a big project, English literature still has so many other cool courses like comparative literature, current issue in literature, literary theory, culture in English literature, literary survey, literary criticism, and not to mention analyzing poetry, drama, and novel. Then there is also a course that I find super interesting, which is creative writing. Here, we're encouraged to really think creatively and pour it into a literary work. But here's the thing, even though I chose the literature concentration, I still have to take general courses that are mandatory for English literature students. So we don't just study literary work, we also encounter courses like critical thinking theory, English listening and speaking, introduction to linguistics, English structure, advanced English structure, all the way to functional systematic grammar. Plus, there is also translation and interpreting from English to Indonesian and vice versa. There is also correspondence, public speaking, digital literacy, and honestly, many more. So, if you want to know what it feels like to study all of that, well, you gotta experience it yourself. Join English literature at Universitas Hasanuddin. So that's a little story about why I chose, stay, and fell in love with English literature Universitas Hasanuddin. Honestly, I was doubtful for a while. I was down and even always think about switching majors. But turns out the decision to stick with it actually became one of the best decisions in my life. Every course, every project, every experience, all of it made me realize that studying English literature is much broader, more exciting, and more meaningful than I ever imagined. And if you're still confused which major will you choose, or you're thinking about entering English literature, well, I think just give it a try, because who knows, you might feel the way I do before. And thank you so much for watching this video, and please wish me luck to get straight A this semester again. Well, I think that's all. See you in my other video assignment. Bye bye.